Hello, hello, and welcome again to yet another Wednesday conversation around topics related to the coronavirus. I'm Pastor David B. Franklin, lead pastor here at Miracle City. And listen, each and every week since this crisis has begun, we have taken it upon ourselves to say, listen, we want to make sure that we are providing as much clear information, as much help as we can to everybody who is traversing through this crisis. And each week it has been nothing short of amazing. We started with Dr. David Williams, as well as Dr. Sylvette Latouche Howard, talking about flattening the curve. Since then, we've talked about hope. We've talked about social inequity. And tonight we are talking about small businesses. Look, you may have a small business. You may be aspiring to start a small business, or you for sure support a small business. And we want to help you to learn what you can do to maybe get that business going, to keep that business going, or to make sure that we're all playing our role to support small businesses out there, because they are a vital component of our community. And so I'm glad you joined the conversation, but you should not keep this thing to yourself. So would you do me a favor and share this link, send a text, send an email, pick up the phone and call somebody. We are streaming on all of our platforms. We're on our website, miraclecitychurch.org. We are on YouTube, on our YouTube page, our Miracle City Church YouTube page, as well as our Miracle City Facebook page. So you shouldn't keep this good thing to yourself. We have some stellar, I'm telling you, some stellar guests, and they are going to provide you the information you need to continue to level up even during this time of crisis. So here's what I need you to do. Share this information, share this link, text somebody, email somebody, invite them in, because we are about to get started. We're not going to waste your time, and we're not going to waste our guest time either. We're going to jump right into this conversation. I'm telling you, we have some amazing guests, and I want to introduce them to you right now. We're going to start with a good friend of mine. He got popular a couple of years ago because of this new hair technique that he was able to launch literally all across the country. But I had him as my personal barber first. So I'm excited that he is sharing with us tonight. He is none other than Wade Menendez, the owner and operator of the W Hair Loft, with 3 locations: Glen Burnie, Maryland, Washington, D.C., and Atlanta, rocking the game. Wade, welcome to our program tonight.
Thank you for having me, brother. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. It's good to have you. It is good to have you, man. I know you've got some good information to share. It's going to bless some folks. So we're excited to have you. Not only that, but we have Mrs. Lois Peters, who's joining us tonight. She is the owner and operator of 3 businesses, a lifelong entrepreneur. She currently owns and operates a pediatric home care agency called APNT Inc. She also has a staffing agency, as well as she runs a company that oversees several assisted living facilities. Mrs. Lois Peters, we're excited to have you on the program as well.
Yeah.
Yes. And last but certainly not least, we actually have 2 more guests. I'm going to introduce one right now and then one a little later in our program. But this last small business owner is a small business with national, and international impact. He is no stranger to the Miracle City community. And even if you are not part of the Miracle City community, he's probably no stranger to you. But I'm glad that I'm able to call him brother. He is none other than DeVon Franklin, CEO of Franklin Entertainment, 4-time author, 4-time, okay? Produced by Faith, The Wait, Hollywood Commandments, and The Truth About Men. Plus, he's rocking the game with movies like Breakthrough, and he's got some exciting projects coming up. DeVon Franklin, welcome to the program. You are muted, brother. You're muted.
There we go. Hey. Thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it, man. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, man. Glad you were able to join, bro. So look, you guys, I really want to just have an organic conversation. There are people out there who have small businesses. There are people out there who have been wanting to start small businesses, and this time of maybe not having to go into the office like they used to, or for some folks, they've been furloughed. And so they got time to kind of think about what their dream is. And then there's others of us who are like, we support small businesses. And so I want to have an organic conversation. Get in where you fit in. I'm going to ask some questions. Feel free to just engage. And this is going to be a little bit of back and forth. But let's start here. Okay, let's start here. States across the country are opening up. They're reopening. And in fact, that's having some negative effects as it relates to the infection rate. However, we also know that as long as we stay closed, it can damage and hurt small businesses. So what are your thoughts on, as a small business owner, what are your thoughts on reopening? Do you think we should do it? How should we do it? And what's some general principles we can abide by as we think about reopening well?
Well, I would say, they just reopened some things in my area, probably within the last week. People are still reluctant to take part in that. Some people are saying it's too soon. But I also understand that, let's say for me, for my shops here in Maryland, people still need to the barbers still need to make money, and then there's a lot of people that still want to get service. So what we're doing right now is I'm kind of rearranging the shops so it make it more safe for the customers and the barbers. So now we're putting out plexiglass walls to separate the stations to make sure that there's some kind of separation, maybe, and also seeing that there's only supposed to be one person at a time in each chair, moving the stations further apart and taking out the waiting area now. You know what I mean? So doing certain things like that, having to just rethink and rearrange how the layout is, man. So it's just really about being safe. Walmart's are still open, Targets are still open, and there's mad people in those stores. So it's kind of like, you have to do what you feel comfortable doing, and so that's kind of where I am. But for some people, they feel like it's too safe. Like, say for instance, like my church, we're still not going to have church, even though we're allowed to now have service. But my mother was like, no, we're not doing that. So maybe July, August, maybe sometime, in the future, down the line. So.
Got you. If y'all didn't pick that up, Wade's also a PK. His mother. For those of you who don't know what a PK is, that's pastor's kid. That's what pastor's kid.
Yes, sir.
Miss Lois, jump in here. You're the rose between thorns tonight. Jump in here.
See, the industry that I am in with the seniors, we're not opening up as far as people coming and going. I was just telling Pastor Franklin that we haven't had even one person that has gone to the hospital through this whole season because we locked down early. We stopped sending people out to the activities early. We stopped the families from coming back and forth. They can come into the window and talk. And this week on a sunny day, we took everybody and had them outside in the back. But we had to stop letting people come and go. And we're still going to hold on to that for a little while, because if one person gets sick in these tight quarters, then it just goes like wildfire. And even our staff, we got to the place where we had to get earbeds so that they didn't have to go and come every day. If you're working for 3 days, you could stay there for 3 days and then go home. And then when you come back, you have to take off your clothes when you get to the door, and your shoes and everything. And so, and the clothes you wear inside, you leave it there. So we did a lot of things to make sure that there wasn't cross-contamination, and it has worked for us. So it will be a little bit before we open up.
Understand that. DeVon?
Yeah, it's twofold. In terms of my office, I'm here at the office now, but there's nobody here. So my entire staff works remotely, and, we do our Zoom meetings every day, multiple meetings every day. And in terms of the industry, everyone is trying to figure it out. The governor of California just had a task force meeting and is trying to release some guidelines for the film and television industry that may come out as soon as Monday of next week. So it's really about, navigating. I have a small office. There's probably about 7 or 8 offices, and pretty much it's already socially distanced. So when we do come back, everything is kind of already spaced out. So that's good that we're already ready for that. But I've already seen sorry about that. That was your other brother calling.
Yes.
Um,
Look, since this is time of COVID, let's just be honest. I'm trying to tell him right now, we're live, bro. Like, stop.
yes, Ray. Why don't you
Anyway,
watch the program, Ray?
yeah.
So nonetheless, our office is already pretty socially distanced. However, I am just kind of adapting a policy that we've been able to work very effectively remotely. So once we're kind of back, I'm still going to have a hybrid version of this. Thankfully, we're in an industry where at least my segment as a producer is not, it's affected, but it's not. My deals with Paramount and Netflix and CBS. And so as a result, I'm able to still keep the company afloat, which is great. But the goal is when it all opens back up to figure out a modified way to work that still incorporates some virtual work with some, being in the office.
Yeah, so that's good. Everybody, this is very interesting because whereas, we have Wade who's figuring out a way to manage the opportunity to reopen right now so that people can stay safe. Miss Lois is saying, well, you know what, we're in a condition where we've got a vulnerable population, so we've got to keep those folks safe. And then and for you, DeVon, you're saying, well, we're gonna get to the point where we're gonna open back up and do it in a safe manner, but we're not there yet. So this is kind of a nice balance that we have, kind of the spectrum of where businesses are right now. But let's talk about this because we want to talk about some of the pain points. What are some of the unique challenges that you've experienced since the pandemic started? Can you speak to those? And we're gonna work the other way around. So DeVon, we'll start with you.
Unique challenges, probably, it's interesting because for me personally, and my, company, I wouldn't say that we have experienced the hardships per se. The pain point is that, when you look at so many people in the film and television industry that are not working, there's so many people below the line, crew members, that are not working and depend on those, jobs from the movie sets and television sets every day. And without those, that's painful. I think there was a statistic, I think it just came out and it said, and I don't want to misquote it because I actually couldn't believe it, but the idea is like there's about a million people that in the film and television industry that are nearly 1 million film and entertainment employees are out of work.
Wow.
1 million. Yes, that news just broke earlier today. So, I don't feel the personal pain of that because as a producer, things are kind of moving, but the industry at large is 1000% in pain.
Wow.
And that's why plans are being discussed immediately to figure out how to get back to work.
Yeah.
Wow.
Miss
Wow.
Lois?
For us, the pediatric home care agency was the biggest one hit because at first the nurses are going, we're not going into people's houses and we don't have masks, because in the hospital, at least somebody's providing you with stuff. Initially, we couldn't get anything. So they're going from their homes to the people's home to take care of these kids. So all the families there. And then we got to the place where, so they were canceling. Then we got to the place where parents were saying, we don't want anybody coming in our house. We don't want any nurses going home and coming back. So for a while, we had a big loss. So we were getting ready to lay off people in the office because we couldn't bill because nurses weren't going and parents didn't want anybody coming. But after it got a little tight where they started realizing you don't want to work, you don't get any pay. And then the parents, after they took care of the kid by themselves for a little while, for a week or so, a couple of weeks, they called back and said, well, can you all work something out? Well, by then we were able to get some of the PPEs for the nurses and that they could get back in place and get back to work. And then we were able to access some of the funds. So we didn't have to lay off the people in the office that we were going to lay off. But it was rough initially.
So you have been a recipient of some of the stimulus money.
Yes, we did. Yeah.
Excellent. So I'm going to give a little forecast here that we're about to bring in someone from the Small Business Administration here from the Baltimore office, but part of the federal Small Business Administration, and she's going to give us some tips for small business owners. So she's coming in just a bit, but it's good to know that you were able to benefit from that.
And that's just by chance. And I'm glad when she told me she did tonight, I was going, this is wonderful, because even yesterday somebody called. Most of the minority, they don't know, and in 24 hours it's gone. So if you're not right there to apply, and you don't know your bank people, you don't get a part. I mean, it's somebody just happened to say, Lois, did you try? And I called my bank and they said, send it in because it's coming out tomorrow.
Wow. Well, Wade, challenge. Yeah, your challenges.
It was more so the unknowns that were really affecting, because it's like when everything happened, it's like, oh, you can't work, shut the shop down until further notice. So, with barbers, a lot of us, we don't work, you're not making any money, so it's just really, thank God I saved, and, the Lord is blessed. But at the end of the day, a lot of my guys are, they're trying to figure it out. They don't have a second income. Like I have different things in the pot working so I can be good. So you have that, and then, the rents are still due, for 3 locations and all that stuff, man. So it was a lot of unknowns and a lot of anxiety. So a lot of things was, starting to happen until we had to figure some things out. And just hearing some of the stories, and even like, some of my barbers and some of their personal stories, how they, the challenges they faced being able to not work. And then it's like you're scared because you don't want people to come to your house, and some people don't have the space to even allow for that. So it was just so many unknowns, man. I mean, I would say the challenges were more mental than anything a lot of times.
Wow, that's true.
Yeah.
The fear, when your staff is fearful.
Yeah.
Today, I asked somebody to go to get somebody's blood work with them, and she said, Mrs. Peters, I'm not going out there. That air, there's stuff flying around in that. I said, is anybody else there? No. I said, you're going in a car with the person that you're taking care of just to go to the lab. It's an appointment. But I had to, she says, I'm old. She said, you could walk outside in that air and there's stuff flying around.
Yeah, and there's so many unknowns. So you don't know if it's airborne. Then you got people that may be carrying the disease and they don't show any symptoms. It's just so many unknowns. It's like nothing's really concrete with it. It's like if you're not careful and really pray and ask God to help your mind,
that's
like
very true.
You're stressed. You know what I mean?
Panic.
Yeah, real talk. Have you guys experienced stress? Have you felt the stress of the pandemic?
Yes, of course. I got a newborn on the way. I have a wife and another daughter. So thank you, man. So it's like, I'm worried about, I'm not going to say worried, but it's on your mind. At the end of the day, I'm still human. As much as I trust God and all that stuff, if you're still human, you have moments where it's like, wow, like, so it's so many dynamics. You got to move and navigate differently now. Even going to, as simply as going to the grocery store, now you got to take so much precaution just to go get food and make sure you wash your hands, wear a mask, and don't touch this. Try to just be so safe about everything. So definitely, so there's so many dynamics,
So go ahead, Miss Lois, go ahead.
I was just saying, we haven't been stressed because my adult kids have locked us in the house and they bring us food and say, do not go out there.
That's all right. That's all right.
We're not letting it happen.
We walk 6 miles a day, 3 in the morning and 3 in the evening, and the staff takes care of all the other stuff. But my children, they really have. They deliver food to my house. So I don't have to go to the store. I don't have to cook. Last all week.
That's it. They've locked you in. They've locked you in. They're trying to repay you for all the punishment early on in life. That's what it is.
I'm loving it.
Yeah. So look, if somebody wants to, given all of this, right? So we talked about, it's like stressors. We got these challenges. If somebody wants to start a business right now, is this a good time to start a business? Or if it's a good time or bad time, what considerations should people be thinking about when they're starting a business? DeVon, we'll start with you, man.
My thought is, of course, you should start a business. I mean, I'm getting ready to do a almost like a partnership with this young lady who's known as the Budgetnista. Her name is Tiffany.
Yeah.
She has an incredible brand, incredible. I mean, you know, does budgeting work with, you know, thousands upon thousands of people all across the country. And her business is thriving. She started her business during the 2008 recession when she lost her job. She was a teacher, and losing her job and starting the business during that period of time is what has allowed her to succeed now. So I do think that if you want to start a business, now is a time to begin to figure out, okay, how can I do this? Because also, you know, as we have seen, it's not like starting a business inoculates you from the challenges of the world per se. But if God has put within your heart to do this during this pandemic, there's a lot of time that you have to think, that you have a lot of time to sort this out, a lot of time to research that you otherwise may not have had. So I would give someone the green light to begin the plans to start a business.
And there's so many needs.
No, go ahead, Ms. Lois. First step.
There's so many needs out there. That's the first step, is identify, okay, here we are. What are people needing?
That's it.
Which piece fits me? They're grants. They're grants coming from everywhere. I mean, my sister just started this food insufficiency program, and it is taken off in several counties. And she wrote a grant and got it. And I mean, they're 2,000 pounds of food that they're delivering to be given out in one day. And then people are calling and saying, down here, over here. So, and this all started since in the last 8 weeks, because there are grants that they'll give you the next day. I mean, that's how bad some of the. So once you identify what I'm looking at, housing for these COVID patients, I have a couple of empty houses, and I'm making calls and said, okay, what do you need? How can we make it happen? How fast can this be licensed? So I'm too old, so I really don't want to start another business, but I'll help another person use one of my houses. The point I'm trying to make is listen to what's going on. Don't look at how bad things are. Listen to what's going on. So where do I fit? Which piece I can do? And then go do it. Because if the Lord puts an idea in your head, he has already made a way for you. So you move forward. And if he doesn't want you to do it, he'll turn you the other way. But move. Don't start planning and setting up office and buying stuff. Don't buy anything. Just move. The other thing that I think that this season has been good for is for people to start budgeting. I like what he was saying about budgeting, because, for instance, we don't have to pay gas. I don't have to. There are all kinds of pieces, and the mortgage thing where we were able to postpone paying the mortgage for 3 months. That money we can use to put away or to pay off a bill. You see what I'm saying? So if we focus on the positives, you could get going on a business, and before you know it, by the time this is finished, you're doing well.
But here's the thing though. Okay. I'm speaking for those out there. I'm scared, right? Like I only got a little bit of money, right? I'm scared if this project doesn't work out or this idea doesn't go through, I will have wasted my investment. And how am I going to pay bills next month, right? Those are fears people are experiencing right now, right? In fact, I've got to hold on to my cash because I don't know how long this furlough is going to last, right? So yeah, I hear you, move, but I'm scared. What do you say to that?
You don't have to spend money to start a business.
Okay.
If you go literally, for instance, so you're thinking. I was thinking about what my sister just did. She didn't spend one dime. She heard that people were hungry, and she looked at what the grants were, and she wrote it. She got and hired somebody to write it, and they only gave her half of what she applied for. But now you got something that you can go get the food and you can start going immediately. So that's what a lot of people think, that businesses have to be started with money. I don't believe in spending money before you make money. I really don't. So I literally don't believe. I think that you should just move. The Lord gave you an idea. See who else is doing. Who can I partner with? Move, and the money will come. Build it, they will come. And so there are businesses that have to have money, but I'm just talking about what you have to work. What do you have in your hand?
Yeah. So don't spend money before you make it. Okay.
That's how I think. It's not the regular business. That's not the regular business plan. I'm just saying. That's what I do.
She got this thing wired. I don't know how you do that.
It works.
Oh,
Yeah,
love that.
look, she's a lifelong entrepreneur and it currently
I love
owns 3 businesses. So
I'm learning. I'm taking some notes.
I
I'm learning.
know, right? What you think? You over there smiling, man? What you thinking, man?
I was enjoying mother over here. I mean, you know, listen, that's what's up though. I think, yeah, like you were saying, you know, first of all, it depends on what business that you're trying to start. I don't think all businesses is good to start in this pandemic right now. So like you said, like if there's a need, you provide a solution to the need. Okay, so whatever business you're trying to start right now, then ask yourself, is there a need for this? And even with me, like right now, I'm coming out with hair products and stuff. So I had to regroup my hair products and the other, like we was coming out with merchandise and different things like that. So now we go into antibacterial stuff, things that are going to fight some kind, you know. And so it's like you have to understand that this is a different time now, you know. And but even with that, there's not a time to be fearful as far as business, because God is still providing in this pandemic, and I'm a living witness as far as that is concerned. Because I'm not able to make as much money with cutting hair, but I also have different things now. You have online classes, you have online tutorials, making sure that you promote yourself online because everything is virtual now. Also, I have another business that I've been a part of for the last year, and it's now just finally doing very well because there's a need for it. So health and wellness is a need for people wanting to make sure that their immune systems and their bodies are in place. So even if you did come in contact with the COVID, you know what I'm saying, there's a chance that you will be able to fight it off better. But that's another business that I have, and now, you know, I'm making a nice amount of money a week.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying? So God is still moving and blessing, even in there is provision still being made in the pandemic. But you just have to kind of be strategic and pray for wisdom on what to open and what to do in this time, because it's resources, it's all kinds of things. So I think, you know, now you starting a sneaker line right now. I don't really you know what I'm saying? Like there's certain things it may not be needed for, because can't nobody go nowhere, which you such a selling sneakers for. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but I think it's a definition of start. What does start mean? If it's not started here,
yeah,
you can't start it here.
Exactly.
So you could do a whole lot to start the business here, mapping out the plans. What would be required? The shoe business. All right, what would the designs be? Where would I get them done? Researching the manufacturing, researching the distribution, you know, coming up with the plan for how to get the equity. There's so much that can be done.
Yeah.
So that, yeah, you're right. Maybe not starting the brick and mortar, you know, or opening up the virtual opportunity, but you started the business in a way that you hadn't before, because you now are committing to getting it done and allowing your actions to align with that commitment.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that brick and mortar thing, because that's like a lot of brick and mortar places are shutting down. So a lot of stuff, make sure that our awareness is really good, and you put money behind social media and online, and your presence online, because a lot of places, you know, is even before the pandemic, you know, a lot of stuff you can do better online than you can sometimes in a actual
brick and mortar. Well, listen, no, this is good, y'all. I'm loving this, right? You can start the plan in your mind. You got multiple streams. We haven't even talked about multiple streams of income or having multiple businesses. I feel like that's something that needs to be part of this conversation. But since we've been talking so much about resources, I want to bring in another guest. We got another guest. Listen, I'm telling y'all out there, we're trying to give you all the best information we can. And so we have someone from the Small Business Administration. Her name is Tanya McCoy. She is an economic development specialist with the U.S. Small Business Administration, where she has been employed for 30 years. Her focus is women business owners. Tanya McCoy, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yes, thank you for being here and being willing to share some information. So Ms. Lois talked about she was able to get and access some of this stimulus money. Can you talk about some of the programs that may be available, some of the grants that may be available right now to really help people navigate this crisis as it relates to their business?
Sure. First of all, congratulations on being a recipient of the Paycheck Protection Program. We love to hear success stories. So for the fact that you were a recipient, congratulations. We love it.
Thank you.
And let me ask you a question. Were you able to save jobs with that money?
Yes. I did. And these were the office because we were the nurses were not going to work, and parents didn't want anybody. So all of a sudden, and we bill and get paid from what we what we make off the billing in order to pay the staff in the office. And so the staffing is a small, that's the staffing agency. It's a smaller part of a smaller business in comparison to the big one. The big one are independent contractors, so we couldn't apply for that because it was only employees. But we were going to lay off 2 of the employees, and I stopped taking the salary because things were starting to, we had to look and see, okay, what's going to happen when you can't bill in the next couple of weeks. But I was watching the television and saw this, and I called my bank, and she said, I'm going to send you the papers right now. And she said, it's not ready yet, but I'm going to send you the papers, fill them out. And she sent it to me, we filled them out, and by the next days when they released it, and it was there and ready, so we were able to get it. It wasn't a lot, but it was able to save 2 jobs.
Awesome, and that is exactly the purpose of the program. The Paycheck Protection Program, it was designed to be able to keep employers or business owners from laying off their employees. Mm-hmm. Even if your business wasn't actually open right at this moment, we didn't want employees to let people go.
And that would have been a disaster.
Mm-hmm. Now, the other program that we had, unfortunately, it has closed due to funding, unless you're in the agriculture industry, which is the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program. With that program came the advance, which most people refer to it as the grant program. A lot of people refer to it as the $10,000 grant program. Or up to $10,000. And I received a lot of calls, and no matter how many times I said it's up to $10,000, people say, sure, yes, the $10,000 grant program. Up to $10,000. And then
I did receive that one.
Oh, excellent.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
And then when it came down to it, it was $1,000 per employee. So now people call and say, where's the rest of the $10,000?
Oh my goodness.
Well, it's up to $10,000. So we had those available, and like I said, the portal is closed because of the funding, and right now the portal is only available to folks who are in the agriculture industry because we want to help out the farmers and folks of that nature. But right now, currently, we still have money left for the Paycheck Protection Program. So if there are anyone out there that still need assistance, please.
Really? Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I just told somebody last night it was done. Okay.
No, ma'am, not at all. Their monies are still available for folks. We want to help as many people as we can.
So y'all heard it here tonight. You need to go make sure that program comes to an end because y'all utilize it, right? So
and we should tell them that it's a loan, but if you're able to use it for payroll in the 8-week period, then you can apply for the forgiveness. Is that right? Am I right, Tanya?
Well, with that, we refer everyone to the bank because the agreement is between the borrower and the bank.
Didn't know that. I thought that everybody got the same, because our bank, if you spend all of it in 8 weeks for your payroll, and they give you a thing to make sure you follow all the directions and document, then you can apply for the forgiveness, so you don't have to pay it back if you didn't lay off anybody, and you can prove that you used it for payroll.
Well, we refer everyone to the bank because some people use the proceeds for payroll only. Some people use the proceeds for the other action items that's lined under the program, and some people use the proceeds for all of them. So we refer everyone back to the bank because it's according to the agreement between the bank and the borrower.
They told that it was payroll. Okay, right. I didn't know that. That's new information.
Well, that's good information, right?
Yeah.
It's good information, and it's good information to know that you can still access it.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
And that depending on your bank, there could be forgiveness, right?
Yeah.
So,
yes.
So this is
written in the contract.
Right. So look, as we think about this, that's one way a small business can help itself during this time. What are other ways, that a small business could help itself? And I'm going to open this up to everybody. What are other ways a small business could help itself to ensure that it survives? And maybe another question is, what can the business owner do, right? As the owner, to make sure that they're insulated potentially against any of the still residual effects of the crisis. So
I'll start off with it. Great question. I love that question. One of the things that I tell people on a daily basis is during this time, use it wisely, use it to rebrand your business, use it to figure out, okay, once I get the money, everything open up. What am I going to do? Because I asked a lot of business owners that call in, okay, so when you get the money, what are you going to do? You have the money, which direction are you going to go in? Use it to rebrand your business, use it to figure out how you're going to take your business to the next level. In addition, I give people homework. So when you call me, you'll get homework. How are you going to bring in multiple streams of revenue? You should never just have one stream of revenue. And this is a prime example. When things close down, your money dries up. So you should always be able to have additional streams of revenue that will be able to encounter something like this. We don't know if this virus is going to come back in the fall. So if it comes back, what are you going to do for your business? How are you going to prepare yourself?
So multiple streams of income, that's something that's kind of been coming up. You've all hit on that. What can a business owner do to think about their business in a diverse way to create those multiple streams of income?
I'm not answering with multiple streams of income right this second, but I want to get back to what the owner did. One of the things that we can do is to make the people who are working for us feel valued. This is a good time for us to just let them know how much we appreciate them. The fact that we have homes and nobody has gone to the hospital, that is purely my staff. And it's time to let them know who they are and how much you depend on them and how appreciative that, in whatever way. And it's not always a raise or, because right now is not a time to be given raise. But it's a good time to find something that's worth it to them, that makes them feel valued. Empower them. For instance, the manager of each of our homes, if she calls and says, Mrs. Peters, we do it. It's not even a question. You just do it, because we want her to feel like I'm depending on you to make sure all my clients are safe and things are going well. So that's one of the pieces that we saw that we worked on heavily this time.
Value your employees, pour in, build your employees. Absolutely. What else can we do? What else can a business do to help itself during this time? What can an owner do? And how can we create multiple streams of income? Y'all can take either of those.
Well, I'll start off with that. I'll give a real life example of a client that I was talking to today. He repaved parking lots. And we were talking about different ways of bringing in revenues, because right now his money has dried up. He's used his funding that he had set aside, his rainy day fund, and now he's at the point, what do I do? So we were talking, okay, what else can you do as a business owner that paves, parking lots? So he said, one thing I have started doing was doing exterior painting. I asked him why. You always have to know your why in every step of your business. If you don't know why, if you don't know your why, it's just like running around in circles. Mm-hmm. You don't have a direction. So he told me, because he would pave the parking lots, and then look up, the exterior looks a mess. Okay, so what else can you do? So we talked about maybe him partnering with a fencing company. Maybe the fencing around the parking lot doesn't look good. That doesn't mean that he has to actually perform the service to get part of the money. So a couple of things that you can do to prepare yourself.
Yeah. DeVon, what do you think about this?
I think that it's important to, when you're in these moments, to say, okay, what is the opportunity to run the business better, to be more efficient? I think that a lot of times we get used to a certain routine prior to the pandemic. We think that's the way it was supposed to be. And we realize, actually what we can get by on, how many people we need. Maybe there were some processes that were inefficient. And so I think this is a rebirth process and a rebirth opportunity. I think Wade was, kind of referring to that, as Miss Lois referring to that, like, oh, we've had to pivot and learn some new ways. And these ways are not just for now. These ways are the ways that are going to take us into the future. So I would really, recommend a business owner now to figure out, okay, how can I be nimble? And then also when it comes to those multiple streams, it's really related to service, because at the end of the day, that's what money is.
Right.
It is value for service. And so, I think any business owner should be in the business of figuring out how many ways can we serve, and through each ways of serving, that also has its own revenue stream attached to it. And this pandemic is opening up new ways. There are new needs, even for businesses in traditional verticals, so to speak. There can be new ways to, operate in those verticals that now the pandemic has opened up. And I think that any business owner right now needs to be thinking about not just holding on, but how to really expand for the future.
In addition,
Wade, you were talking about that earlier, about this kind of online, taking advantage of the online opportunity. Dig into that a little more.
Yeah, I mean, everything is virtual. Like we're having this meeting right now, virtual. You know what I'm saying? So I've been getting a lot of calls to do classes, tutorials with different people. So you just kind of have to be a little innovative on how you're promoting yourself and marketing yourself, having just those multiple streams of income. So, a lot of people I've been seeing coming out with ebooks and now tutorial books or whatever that are out now. Like I said, with me, I have also the product line with like we selling well, actually we have one of the best, actually the #1 liquid vitamin on the market right now with TLC. And so that's been doing very well. Like I said, I was a little leery about network marketing at first, but seeing that it really does work if you have a product that people need, if it is a good product. And I couldn't stand by anything that doesn't work. So I found out that the stuff works and it's a
So
good.
what is it? What is it? Tell us what you got.
TLC, Total Life Changes. So we have detox tea. We have, like I said, the liquid vitamins. We have a lot of CBD products and different things that are out that help people.
Build your immune system.
Yes.
The other thing
go ahead, Miss Lois. Yep.
The other thing for us who already own businesses, if you have repairs that need to be done and you are putting money aside for that, this is a good time to do it because people will accept it's cheaper than when things are going really well. Yeah. So this is it's stuff that they don't have to be in your house, or even if you have to be in your house, you can leave for the day. But this is a good time to get stuff done that you're going to have to do. So you got to look at all of the pieces that allow you to save. While it might not be money coming in, it's saving on what you're going to have to spend next month.
Absolutely. So look, we take questions from folks who are watching. They post questions in the comment section. Here's a funny one, but it could have a serious answer. So Britt wants to know when the studios are going to open again because she's worried about running out of shows. So DeVon, she's been binge watching a lot, and she's worried about running out of shows. So
don't worry about running out of shows. There's a whole lot stockpiled, networks and thousands of hours of programming. Yet there is a strong push around the world to get back into production, and there's an anticipation that will probably happen end of August, beginning of September. So, fear not. They're coming. More shows, more movies are coming.
So, but this is a good question because there's part of this. We said we were going to tackle we're going to have a conversation for business owners, aspiring business owners, and then folks who support small businesses, right? So this is a good segue to talk about how individuals can continue to support small business during these times. For example, we were in a group a few weeks ago, everybody's doing Zoom conversations and they're like, look, your nail lady or your barber may not be working right now, but you can still, put something in their pocket during this crisis. So what are other ways that we can all collectively support small businesses?
Even as far as promoting them on social media. Like if you have a following, like lately I've been on my Insta stories, just like some of my boys, they have music coming out and stuff like that. Or if, one of my friends, she just came out with an app, but I promote them just for free. If something that I used to charge for, now I'll do it for free just to help out. You know what I mean? Because the more awareness you have, somebody may support you or promote your business or patronize your business.
Yeah, Miss Lois, what you think about that?
Oh, I think that's real. Social media, you can't go wrong with helping your friends. But in addition, though, it's a good time. Like I'm in healthcare. I'm in the senior homes to give some of my friends ideas on how to. Why don't you? It's a good time to start one because there's a need, and your licensing process might be faster when there is a need. Nobody's gonna wait 6 months to come out and license you because they will come out right because there is especially through this COVID stuff. There's so many people. The hospital. What we're doing is call the hospital and say, we're willing to take COVID. We have a house set aside for it. And we can get, even though that house wasn't licensed before, you can get the state to come out, you can get the county to come out and license it because you got people that need to go in. And you can charge more. You can charge more because it's a need that's not being filled. So I try to tell other people about just different ideas and stuff that you can do. Because you don't have to own the house, you can rent it. You can rent the house and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also I think a big part of it is it's like, yes, Amazon is fantastic, and Walmart, Target, all that's fantastic, but it's also saying, okay, there may be some things I need to buy from there, but what are the other small businesses that I normally would patronize that may be closed right now that I can that I can either get a gift card or I can specifically buy from them. I mean, our housekeeper, wasn't coming obviously because of everything. We still paid them the same amount every week. It's like, hey, we had it budgeted. Yeah, go ahead and do it. Instead of like, why not? Like that's going to help them stay afloat. It helped her be able to pay her rent, not have to worry about it. And so it's just a matter of being conscious, of those businesses that we would normally patronize, but just because they're not open. Let's just not it be out of sight, out of mind. Let's do what we can to keep some of those.
I like that one. I like that one.
Y'all out here helping each other. We've learned about payroll check programs. We've learned
That's right.
Tanya, what would you say that we can do to support small businesses from your perspective?
Relationships and partnerships, I think, is key. Even during times like this, you may not have money right now to service your clients, but that does not mean you can't partner with another business owner and do like we're doing, like a webinar. Say, okay, well, I can't afford any of the platforms. Okay, you do have apps where you can do video chatting that is free. Partner with another business owner to give away the information. I shouldn't say give away the information, or to give information to people that can help them. You help people now, and people most certainly will remember it and come back and help you later.
Right. I give away some people who are starting these businesses that I have. I give them copies of my policies, stuff that they would have to pay a consultant a whole lot of money for, and I give it because I feel like you just make sure that you adapt it to your business, to your own. Take my name out of it. But the point is that to save them thousands of dollars, that you would have to come and get a person to come in and write your policies for you, and they can use mine.
Wow. Well, listen, believe it or not, we're almost out of time, but I'm going to start with you, Miss Lois. Talk to the business owner out there who is at their wits' end. They're scared. They're feeling like they're about to lose their business. What do you say to encourage them, through this crisis, that they don't, totally fall apart in this moment? What do you say to that small business owner?
Well, the only thing that I know is that I have a God that's going to take care of me. And I believe that raw. I have a God that's going to take care of me. It doesn't mean that everything is not going to look bad, but I know for sure that I'm going to be okay. So that's where I start. And then once I accept that I have a God that's going to take care of me, I'm going, okay, Lord, now what? What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do next? And for me, I know it sounds cliche, but it's real. It's real because the Lord will give you direction. It might be a time where He'll send you. I needed extra staff. And I said, Lord, this child quit, and it's the middle of, what am I going to do? And the next thing I know, somebody who used to work called and said, Mrs. Peters, do you have And I didn't even like her, but she took care of the patients before, so I hired her back, and we had just gotten the money. So the point I'm trying to make is that that's where I go first, is to my source of strength. And then once I know that God's got me, then I can stop and say, okay, God, now what?
Mm-hmm. Tanya?
I'm sorry, you said for someone that wants to start?
No, it's for somebody who feels like they're ready to give up. They're already a business owner.
Okay.
They're at their wits' end because, things are so challenging,
Okay. First, I would say breathe. Just take a moment and just breathe. You can't think when you're stressed out, anxiety coming in, because during this time, anxiety is most definitely real. Just breathe. Think about how you can do something different with your business. What is the new normal, basically?
Yeah.
Which direction you're going to take your business in? What you've been doing all this time may not be working going forward. So think about what you want to do. And as I mentioned earlier, basically think about rebranding. But most importantly, breathe.
All right.
Do the work, breathe.
Yeah. Wade?
Well, a scripture that I love, verse 3 and 5, trusting in the Lord with all thy heart, lean not to your own understanding, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. And you really have to, and I believe this is a faith-based, conversation. And at the end of the day, we cannot do anything outside of really trusting God. At the end of the day, because we talk about the stress and anxiety that I've experienced, but it's really just really trusting God, even operating in faith. Even during this pandemic, the Lord put on my heart to bless 5 people with $500. Just on some, just people, and the amount of people that hit me, I had to even up it some more, you know what I'm saying? But I see how the Lord blessed me in the pandemic. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. Like, it seems like I have more money in my account than what I started before the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? And because the Lord is he's giving me resources, even the other businesses are flourishing, that I have things going on and stuff like that. And so really, we have to really trust God and really understand that he's going to take care of us. You're doing your part. God is always going to do his part. He is a man of his word, and he will not fail us. And so at the end of the day, you don't get stressed out. Oh, I got to close my business. So if you had to close something or whatever, trust that he's going to bless you with something better. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's really about really just trusting God and really believing that he is a man of his word, and he's going to see you through this process. So we talk it, but we got to really believe it. You know what I mean?
DeVon?
Yeah, I mean, if you're a small business owner, I think it starts right there. There's nothing small about what you're doing. If we took all the small businesses and shut them down, this country would go down. So I think it's really important to not think of yourself in a small light. They may call you small, but you can't think of yourself as small. You serve a big purpose. Even if you're employing one person, you're improving the life of an entire family that may then improve the trajectory of an entire generation. So it's really important to know that if you're a business owner, that your business can come out of this. It may look completely different. It may be a rebuild, but this is an opportunity for improvement. It's an opportunity to become better. And it's an opportunity now, as Ms. Lois even mentioned, it's about community. There are a lot now, people who may not have shared before. Now you can pull your resources. Businesses that you may have been in competition with. Now it's like, hey, what can we do to build coalition and community during this time? So if you are a business owner, know that your business provides an essential service, and it's important to navigate this moment with as much honesty, transparency as you can, but also with the great vision. It's really important. Don't let the virus take your vision.
That's right.
The business may be shut down, but your vision should never get shut down. If you have a vision, you can start again.
That's right. That's right.
Come on, y'all. I know we can't hear you out there, but come on, will you put your hands together for these guests tonight? Phenomenal information, and it's a beautiful point to wrap on. Is that a business can close, but the vision will always live.
That's right.
And your purpose goes beyond a particular business, and that ties into when we're talking about diversifying and multiple streams of income and all of that. Your purpose can manifest itself in multiple ways. And so thank you to Wade the Barber, to Lois Peters, to Tanya McCoy, and to my brother, DeVon Franklin. I love you guys. I appreciate the time that you guys
back. Thank you.
Hey, Tanya, I need to talk to you.
Absolutely.
I gotta get a number.
She's trying to make sure she gets that that Paycheck program, another round on that. Well, we can make those connections. But listen, we're going to close out. I'm going to give some final thoughts to the audience, and so we'll let you guys go once I do that. But before I do, I want to pray over your businesses. You took time to sacrifice for us tonight, and I want to pray that God's favor will continue to rest upon each of you. So let's pray. Father, in the name of Jesus, Lord, we thank you for this opportunity to connect, to talk about small businesses, to talk about aspiring to begin new businesses, how we can support the businesses that we have patronized in the past. And Lord, we have some business owners and on the call right now, on the program right now. And God, I want to pray that you would bless each and every one of them, Father, that you would bless Wade, that you bless Lois, that you bless DeVon, that you would ensure that their businesses continue to thrive so that they may continue to bless others. Father, that's what we've heard tonight, that each of these business owners have been focused on blessing others, adding value, serving in a powerful way. And so, God, I pray that you continue to give them wisdom. I pray that you continue to place your blessings upon their life and upon their business. And I pray that you continue to open doors. And Father, I also want to pray that you continue to bless Tanya. She is serving such a critical role to help ensure that business owners have the information they need in order to access the programs that could literally be the difference between their survival and their closure. So thank you that she has given her life, 30 years of service, to ensuring that small businesses are thriving. Continue to bless her, her family, and her work. In Jesus' name we do pray. Amen.
Amen. Praise.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you.
Dr. Frank,
Thank you.
Her number from you?
Yes, I will make sure you get all contact information that you need, Miss Lois. All right.
Thanks, everybody. And
Yeah, thank you guys for being here.
Good to see
Thank you.
God bless.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. So there you have it, everyone. This has just been, really, we just scratched the surface, but I hope you are taking away some key things. And particularly for those of you who've been thinking about starting a business, or you're running a business right now and it may not be going the way that you wanted it to go. I really want you to take from this session that this is an opportunity. It may be stressful. It may be fraught with some challenges and some idiosyncrasies that may be difficult to figure out how you navigate them, but it is an opportunity for you to grow in this moment, for your vision to be expanded or to be adjusted in certain ways. This is a pivot moment, right? This is even a pivot moment to say, you know what? My business was doing all right, but there was another dream that I had in my heart. And given the time that I have now, I can pivot and focus in a different stream or in a different vein. And so I pray that you have learned tonight. I pray that you have been inspired tonight. And I pray that you will stay focused, laser sharp focus, that you would have laser sharp focus on doing what it takes to get that business either off the ground or to make sure that that business continues to thrive and succeed. And so I'm glad that you joined us tonight. Listen, if you've been blessed in any way by what we're doing here at Miracle City, we not only have these Wednesday nights, but we also have our virtual worship experience at 12 p.m. on Saturdays. If you've been inspired, if you've been blessed, I would love you to join us for worship at 12 p.m. on Saturdays. We're on all platforms, YouTube, Facebook. We're on our website. Of course, you can follow us on any of our social media platforms. And we would love to continue to journey with you as you go through this crisis. But not only that, we'd love for you to partner with us. And if you would feel impressed, there's no obligation, but if you feel impressed to partner with us in a financial way, I'd love for you to go to miraclecitychurch.org/give and just make a donation of any kind. It helps us to continue to do these kinds of programs, as well as to continue to fulfill our mission here at Miracle City. So thank you for joining us. Thanks for being a part of what God is doing here at Miracle City. And I'm praying over that business idea or that business that you already have. I'm believing it's going to thrive. It's going to grow. It's going to be all that God has it to be. God bless you. We'll see you next Wednesday at 7 p.m.